We like to always start by giving all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai for the reading and understanding of his word today. We always want to exhort those who are keeping the commandments, who are trying to gather themselves and keep the commandments. Happy Purim, family. Happy Purim. Happy Feast of Purim. How you doing, Captain Ezekiel?
Man, I am doing great. I am doing excellent. I done had 4 off days, so I cannot complain. You know, and then today is the second day, the last day of the Feast of Purim, and I am glad to be here as a guest up on the show and to celebrate the Lord's holy day.
All praises, all praises. You know what I wanted to talk about today about Purim? You know, I was in the truck with my son and we were driving down, and I was telling him that how important it was for us to celebrate these holidays.
Absolutely.
How important it is for us to be just as excited to celebrate these days like Purim as we did when we were in the secular or in the world celebrating holidays. And it kind of dawned on me, we don't even get as excited as we used to get when we were celebrating the wicked holidays. Why is it that when it's for the Most High, we don't ever really show that same enthusiasm, right? So we want to make sure that we show that same, keep that, like they say, we want to keep that same energy.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that we do this, and I wanted to show him how important, I wanted to show my son how important it really is to serve the Most High with joyfulness and gladness of heart, right?
Yeah.
I want y'all to go to Colossians chapter 2 real quick before we get into the story, and we're going to be talking about the Feast of Purim. We're going to learn a little bit about it today. We're going to pull some stuff out of the scriptures, and I want you to start at verse chapter 2 and verse 16 of the book of Colossians.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink.
So it says, let no man therefore judge you when you're this is talking about the holidays that were written down in the scriptures. This is not talking about Thanksgiving, Easter, or any other the wicked holidays that they have, but this is what Christians equate to the holidays that they serve in now. But this is not talking about that. This is talking about our holidays that we're serving like Purim. Read that again.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon.
Or of the new moon. And it's so funny how a Christian mind skips over the new moon. It skips over Sabbath, which is the 7th day. But it definitely skips over new moon. They don't even think about what a new moon is. But we are supposed to celebrate the new moon. Read on.
Or of the Sabbath day.
Or of the what?
Or of the Sabbath day.
Read on.
Verse 17. Which are a shadow of things to come. But the body is of Christ.
But the body is of what?
The body is of Christ.
So when we celebrate, we do these things unto Christ. Now, what does that mean? We do it as Christ taught us, because we follow the commandments. He never veered away from the commandments. That's why Israelites are supposed to pride themselves off of what? Being followers or true followers of Christ. Read on.
Let no man beguile you of your reward.
Of your what?
Of your reward.
Let nobody beguile you. That means trick you. Don't let anybody trick you. Now watch how you're supposed to act in these rewards. Read.
In a voluntary humility.
In a what?
In a voluntary humility. And worshiping of angels. Intruding into those things which he hath not seen.
Stop right there. It says, let no man beguile you of a voluntary humility. When we do the Feast of Purim, this is a voluntary humility. We want to do these things as something that we are not forced to do. So when it says voluntary humility, a voluntary humility is something that we do, and we're number one, we're passionate about it. We want to be passionate about it, but it's something we volunteer to do. But in humility of serving God, we do this. Read on.
And worshiping of angels, intruding into those things which ye have not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind.
These are things, now he's going into people vainly puffed up, thinking they know, because we celebrate these days, and because we're doing these days, these are people that are looking down on people that are not doing them exactly the same way. I seen a post today on Facebook, and the person say, y'all still celebrating keeping Saturday Sabbaths? And the person, and I didn't comment, I wanted to so bad.
Yeah, sometimes we gotta hold our tongue.
I held my tongue, but the person that was going back and forth with him, gave Colossians chapter 2, who said, let no man therefore judge you in respect of new moons. This scripture should be enough to stop people from having a difference of different days that they celebrate. Our Purim ain't the same day as our brothers, some of our other brothers that congregate Purim. But we're doing it as a voluntary humility, right?
Absolutely.
What you got to say about that, King?
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought something like that up. For the simple fact is because we should be more excited for our brothers and sisters that they doing it versus if they not doing it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we always, when we go to the streets, we always confound people who are still celebrating like Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Days, Father's Days, and stuff like that, and not doing the things that God have commanded. But then you'll judge your brother for doing the things that God commanded, but not doing it the way that you like it.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's something dealing with you. That's an inward thing. Right there.
That's an inward thing.
You should be happy that they doing it. When I get excited when I see brothers online celebrating God's holidays.
Me too.
You know, it makes my teeth white.
Yeah.
It does. But you're right in the exact, brother, man.
Let's go ahead and get that. Before we start the story, go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I want you to get verses, I think it's 46. 28 and 46, I believe, with joyfulness and gladness.
That's a good one. I was thinking about that one.
This is the book of Deuteronomy.
47.
Is it 47?
You can go do 46 and 47.
Okay.
Chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
These are curses that are going to be on us forever. And so the same curses that was on our Israelite brothers and sisters back then are on us today. Same ones. Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
So we get in trouble and we get a curse on us for not serving him with joyfulness and gladness of heart. So we want to have wine. We want to have food. We want to have good music because that's going to help promote joyfulness and gladness of heart.
Absolutely.
You see that? Go ahead.
For the abundance of all things.
So we're looking, when we serve and we keep these holidays, we want to make sure that we're serving God for the abundance of all things. Now, what does that look like? That looks like when I come to the place and I'm here and I'm chilling with my brothers. You know what? Thank you, Father, for blessing me to make it through this day.
Yeah.
Thank you for blessing me to be healthy. Thank you for blessing me with my job.
Yeah.
Thank you for blessing me to be able to have fun with my brothers. I'm asking and blessing everybody around me, everything around me, with the abundance of everything. I'm praising the Most High for the abundance of everything. Thank you for my breath. Thank you for me waking up. Thank you for my good company that I have. Everything. He said for the abundance of, read that again.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
And he means that, for the abundance of all things. That's what that's how we got to learn to praise our God.
That's right.
That's how we have good success. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get into the story. Now we're going to go to Esther chapter, absolutely. We're going to go to Esther chapter 9, and we're going to start at the top because we want to get some understanding of what's going on. I'm going to lay it out for y'all. In the book of Esther, Esther was a queen, and Artaxerxes was the king, right? And so she had to marry him because Esther was very beautiful. Her uncle is Mordecai, right? So Mordecai and Esther, they understood a plot and a plan that was going to happen, that was going to mess us up, right? Now watch this. I kind of put the outline there for you. Read chapter 9, verse 1 of the book of Esther.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 9 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Now in the 12th month, that is the month of Dar, on the 13th day of the same.
Go ahead.
When the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put into execution, in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them.
So the enemies came against us. Our enemies came against us. Go ahead.
Though it was turned to the contrary.
It was turned where?
Turned to the contrary.
So the reason why we celebrate this Purim is because the Most High God turned a victory. What was supposed to be our demise, God turned it to be a victory for us because Haman was trying to kill us. And not only just Esther and Mordecai, all the Jews. He wanted to wipe us all out. But go ahead.
Though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them.
Go ahead.
The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, to lay hand on such as sought their hurt. And no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people.
Because remember, it was letters. For you to understand Purim, there were letters that Haman had put to every province in the kingdom. And the letters was, we finna take them out all at one time. We gonna perform a coup. So, for example, Monday at 12 o'clock, we gonna all kill them at the same time. You right? That's what he was plotting to do. Go ahead.
And all the rulers of the provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies and officers of the king helped the Jews.
They did what?
Helped the Jews.
This is God turning the government to our benefit. This is what the Most High did for us this day. That's why we celebrate this day. God took the whole government and the laws and turned it to the Jews' benefit. That's just like if today, to make you understand what's going on now, that's like if in America, the Most High would put a spirit on Trump and have him to protect all the black people in America, all the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and say, look, anybody who harm them, we're going to do them harm. Right? We know that nothing like that going to happen here, but I was giving you an example what this looks like in today's time. Read on.
Help the Jews because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
Go ahead.
For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater.
So Mordecai had great respect in the house of the province, in the house of the king. Read.
Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword.
With what?
With the stroke of the sword.
It would be ridiculous for our enemies to celebrate Purim with us. This is what I want you to understand about this holiday. We smote, meaning we struck them. We hit a deadly blow with all our enemies. We destroyed them. We unalived them this day for the sake of them trying to unalive us. The Most High gave us victory over them. Read.
Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter.
And what?
And slaughter.
Go ahead.
And destruction. And did what they would unto those that hated them.
So those that hated us, we did unto them what they would have done to us. Read.
And in Shushan, the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
How many men did we
500
destroy?
men.
Go ahead.
And Parshadatha, and Dalphon, and Espatha, and Poratha, and Adalia, and Adadatha, and Pamashatha, and Adasai, and Adadai, and Vashadatha.
This is all the different people, all the different ones that would have what? Did us harm. Now watch this.
And Vashadatha, the 10 sons of Haman.
The who?
The 10 sons of Haman.
So it's naming all the 10 sons of Haman. Now watch this. A white boy. Haman, this white boy, meant to do us harm.
The 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hamadatha, the enemy of the Jews.
The who?
The enemy of the Jews.
Read on.
Slew they, but on the spoil laid they not their hand.
Go ahead.
On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan, the palace was brought before the king.
Read on.
And the king said unto Esther, the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan, the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman, which have they done in the rest of the king's provinces. Now, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done.
Stop right there. So we know the king loved Esther so much, he granted her all of this. That was nothing but the spirit of the Most High on this man to give us victory over our enemies. Such a great victory that we had to declare this a holiday. Go ahead.
Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan, to do tomorrow also according unto this day's decree. And let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
Let his 10 sons be what?
Be hanged upon the gallows.
See, a lot of people don't have the stomach for the true justice of the Most High. I'm going to tell y'all this. A lot of y'all don't have the stomach, don't have the gall for the real true justice of the Most High. Because we're reading the story now, but it's different if you was to see 10 people getting hung. Because what they meant to do to us, the Most High did to them.
Damn, absolutely.
Y'all see that? Go ahead.
And the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan, and they hanged Haman's 10 sons. For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day also of the month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey they laid not their hand. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together, and stood for their lives. and had rest from their enemies.
And they had what?
And had rest from their enemies.
We had rest from our enemies. Understand this. This is something very, 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 very monumental. This is this is why we have to read these scriptures and learn who these people were. Learn who these people were, what they look like. Because Esau's soul won't let us learn this, he would never teach you this. You would never go to school and learn this. You would never go to any theology course and learn this. How you gonna learn that these people that were able to get victory over your enemies? And then you slew all these people, and then not only you slew these people, Haman, they were a member of the persuasion type. You understand? Mm-hmm. So that in their soul, they can't teach you this. They won't teach you this. They can't because they hate it. Why would you teach me something about my people slewing your people? You know? And for hundreds of years now, I want y'all to keep in mind, for hundreds of years here in this country, they've been slaughtering us. There's a book called No Sanctuary that me and my wife ordered about a while back. And all it is the slaughter of our people since we've been on this soil over here. And it's a big, thick book. It's about this thick. And all it is it just denotes the slaughter of our people, right? Go ahead.
And slew of their foes 70 and 5,000. But they laid not their hands on the prey. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested day, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
We made it a day of what?
And made it a day of feasting and gladness.
It says this is a day that we made because the Most High granted us victory over our enemies. It's a day of feasting and gladness. So when we feast tonight and we have our stuff tonight, we're going to remember how wonderful it is for us to have this victory of our ancestors. A lot of us probably wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for this victory. And I think that's what a lot of people don't really respect or even understand. A lot of us probably wouldn't be here. When you unalive one person, you're not just unaliving that person, you're unaliving all of the potential offspring that man could have had. So you may be unaliving 7 people, well actually more than 7, probably 700 people. You see? So it's a very big deal. We don't think of it that way, but it is a big deal.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Now watch this. Read verse 18.
And made it a day of feasting and gladness. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 14th day thereof, and on the 14th thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
So we have 2 days that we use to celebrate this. Yesterday we chilled, and we did it at home. And today we come together and we have a wonderful feast. Go ahead.
Therefore, the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another. And Mordecai wrote these things, and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly, as the days wherein the Jews...
You gonna keep it? Of the same what?
Yearly. Of the same yearly.
When?
Yearly.
We're gonna keep this day every year. This is very important for us. This is something very, very imperative that we remember to do this. This is one of my favorite holidays. Read on.
And the 15th day of the same yearly, as the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them, from sorrow to that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor.
And what?
And gifts to the poor.
So this is a day where we give each other gifts. So in this day, we make sure that we honor each other, love each other, have fun with each other, and we also give each other gifts on this day, right? And a lot of times we don't remember this, and a lot of times we forget to keep these holidays that are this wonderful, right? But we do give each other gifts. A lot of people, they get caught up in Christmas and all these other days, and they get caught up, well, we can't give each other no gift. Well, on this day, you can give each other a gift. Well, you can actually give a person a gift anytime. But on this day, you can also give gifts, right? Go ahead.
And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agathite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pur, that is the lot, or pur, to consume them and to destroy them.
And then he said, pur, that's like a coup, like a decree to kill them all. Go ahead.
And had cast consume them and to destroy them. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by the letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head.
So what?
Should return upon his own head.
Go on.
That he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows.
Go ahead.
Wherefore they called these days Purim, after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter, and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them.
So when he said, like, pure or Purim, or watch this, purge. You know, remember the movie Purge? That's what they were going to do to us. They was going to purge us. You see that? They was going to pure us. But guess what? What they meant for our destruction, it turned back on their heads and became their destruction. You know what I'm saying? That's why this day is so important that y'all remember to keep this day very, very close to y'all and understand it. Read.
The Jews ordained and took upon them and upon their seed and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they would keep these 2 days.
Wait, how many days?
That they would keep these 2 days.
It says we're going to keep 2 days. This is a 2-day holiday. Read.
That they would keep these 2 days according to their writing, and according to their appointed time every year, and that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation.
And kept throughout what?
Every generation.
So the real Jews celebrate Purim throughout every generation, right? Go ahead.
Every family, every province, and every city, that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
And have you ever, I want to ask you a question, Captain. Have you ever seen a so-called convert be overly joyed in Purim as far as the holidays? I've never saw it.
I've never seen it. Never seen it.
I've never saw it. And you wonder why certain holidays that they have, and they call Hanukkah, you know what I'm saying? Because we say the Feast of Dedications. They say Hanukkah. We say Feast of Dedication. This is Purim. This is something that they were, quote unquote, keeping until we started waking up and keeping it. But that's why I'm pushing that enthusiasm. We need to be so happy to keep this, because the enemy soul can't truly keep God's commandments. This is a commandment from God that we keep his holidays holy. And this is something we ought to make sure we rejoice in, be glad in. I'm going to dance tonight. Y'all hold me to that. I'm going to dance tonight. Y'all hear me? Read on.
Then Esther, the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter to Purim. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews, to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim, in their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves, and for their seed.
And for who?
And for their seed.
Go ahead.
The matters of the fasting and their cry. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
It was what?
Written in the book.
And it was written in the book. And that's, listen, y'all, that's really what I wanted. I didn't know if we could get through this little section, this story, but this was so wonderful. And if y'all ever wanted, this is chapter 9 of the book of Esther. It's the whole chapter. And if y'all could just read the story, it can give you a complete understanding of why we celebrate Purim, what we're supposed to be doing, and how we're supposed to be doing it. This is what we are supposed to be doing. You got anything to add to that, Captain?
Go to Job 8:8 for me right quick.
That's what's up.
Job or Joel?
Job.
J-O-B.
That's it, J-O-B.
You said 8 and 8?
8 and 8.
Gotcha.
Come on down.
This is the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age.
Do what?
For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age.
Read.
and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
So the reason why I pulled that right there, the search of your fathers, because we have to go back in time and see the things that our fathers did. Normally when we pull a scripture like this, we normally bring stuff like this out on the street to show our brothers and sisters, like, prophecies before time, things that they did do right according to God or whatnot. But I pulled this right here to show you things that our fathers did do. And what did they do? The Feast of Purim. This is something you need to acquire of. If you out here doing these wicked holidays, you need to acquire of your forefathers and see what holidays that they did.
That's right.
I'm gonna give it back to my brother.
Man, hey, look, that's all we got today. We just wanted to go over these things. We wanted to make sure you guys understood why we celebrate the Feast of Purim. We always want to encourage our brothers and sisters to gather. We want to encourage y'all to continue to keep these holidays sacred. We want to encourage y'all to keep the commandments with all your heart, all your might, and all of your soul, like the scripture tells us.
Absolutely.
And before we leave, let's get Deuteronomy chapter 6, and I want you to read chapter 6 and verse 4 through 9.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 4.
Matter of fact, I want you to jump up to verse 3.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 3. Hear, therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it.
We got to hear these words and observe to do it. The class that we brought out today, we got to hear it and observe to do that.
Do it.
Read.
Hear, therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee.
So we can be well and safe. Go ahead.
And that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers hath promised thee.
So as we keep these holidays, we're going to increase mightily. As time go on, start easily keeping them more. We to a point to where we ain't gonna even have to read no more about it. We're gonna already know the whole story.
We're already gonna know.
From the least of us to the greatest. Go ahead.
In the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
When you love him with all your might, you're keeping all the holidays. When you love him with all your soul, you keeping all the holidays and his commandments. When you love him with all your heart, soul, and your might, you're doing everything that you can, both big and small things. Read.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words, which I command thee this day, shall be in thine heart.
What they gonna be?
Shall be in thine heart.
This is your heart right here. It's gonna be in your mind. It's going to be in your mind. Go ahead.
And thou shalt teach diligently unto thy children.
What we going to do?
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
It's a commandment for us to teach them diligently to our children. It's a commandment for me to teach my sons and daughters this word, this Purim. This is a commandment from God for me to teach this. Read.
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
When you at the house, you need to ask questions. Well, what about Purim? Is it this? Is it that? What's going on? Talk about it when we sitting in the house. Read.
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand.
What we're going to bind them for a sign upon our what?
Upon thine hand.
Read it out of the book. That's when you bind it upon your hand. That's not that bull crap that they be doing with the leather strap and all that. It's reading it out of the book. That's what that means. Read.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be frontlets between thine eyes.
You're going to be looking at your eyes. They're going to look at the words on the paper. That's what that means. Read.
And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and upon thy gates.
And we're going to write them on our house. We're going to have commandments on the walls of our house, which we have now. We're going to have commandments on the walls and the different. When you walk up to my door, you see some commandments on the side. You see what I'm saying? Because we're gonna always remember to keep these commandments, and we're gonna always remember to learn them and read them. Right? These are the things that are important for us, for our salvation and for our growth and for our wisdom.
Absolutely. I got one more thing right before we close out. Jonathan, you ain't got nothing to do it.
No.
You good? Okay, I got one more thing. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 27. And this is for these Christians out here that I always say that we drinking wine is sin. No, excessive wine that gets you drunk is sin, according to the Bible. But Christ's first miracle was what?
Wine, water to wine.
Turning water to wine. And what was they doing? It was a marriage going on.
That's right.
And they needed some wine.
That's right.
Read that.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 27. Wine is as good as life to a man.
So the Bible is telling you wine is just as good as life is to a man. Read.
If it be drunk moderately.
If it be drunk moderately. So God just told you, if you drink it in moderation,
Yes.
it's good to you. No excess of wine. We don't get drunk over here. Read.
Exactly.
Wine is as good as life to a man if it be drunk moderately. What life is then to a man that is without wine?
So God is saying what life is without a man without wine. Remember back in biblical time, all we had was water and wine.
That's right.
Read.
For it was made to make men glad.
It was what?
Made to make men glad.
It was made to make men glad. So when we have the Feast of Purim, guess what we're going to do? We're going to drink us some drinks and we're going to drink us some wine. Because that's what's going to make us men glad.
That's right.
All like that,
Oh
brother.
man, look, that's right, and that is exact. And we are gonna drink wine, and we're gonna be merry. We're gonna be merry, and we're gonna rejoice in the Most High. And with that, we say shalom.
Oh, praise.
All praises.
Good stuff, brother.
That was good stuff, man. Good stuff.